Sinisteve.
Hey YouTube, Sinisteve back with another video. It's been a long time. I've completely forgotten how to do this. I mean, to be fair, judging by my last video, I didn't really know how to do it then. It was absolute shocking quality, but I'm hoping I can do a little bit better today. But there's been massive game room changes, huge game room changes. I mean, this is the end where obviously my console collection, computer collection was, but I've had a really big sort out. Let's go down the row. I've still got bits to do, like little bits of decorating where the shelves come down, but as I say, let's go down the row. So still got the Donkey Kong, absolutely stunning cab, love this cab. Still got the Donkey Kong 2, DK Junior switcher. Now coming down the line, we've now got Championship Sprint in the System 2 cab. I believe last time I did a video, Paperboy was in there. Paperboy's got a little bit of a fault at the moment. I've got my good friend Gav looking at it. He's actually quality with boards, so hopefully he can get that sorted out. But I've been enjoying Championship Sprint. I mean, it's been in probably best part of a year now, and yeah, really enjoy it. Really cool game. I mean, it's just basically a board swap, control panel swap. You put the pedals in. It's like a panel that comes off. It's pretty dark down there, but you just put the pedals in, change the panel, change the board, change the marquee, and obviously you can see the Paperboy control panel up there. So hopefully I can get that back in. So I'm missing it, I must admit. But this is a really cool game with friends round. Love a bit of Championship Sprint. So moving on to the next one. I've finally got it. Finally, a Sinistar is in Sinisteve's arcade. Huge thanks to Alex, Arcade Archive. He picked it up from Hull. A bit of a mutual friend called Ben had cabs over there that he needed saving. He took it to the arcade down the museum, and it didn't really hit off with him really. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not the best game, I know that. I've got so much nostalgia for it, and you get so many cheap deaths in it. It's yeah, it's not the funnest game to play, but I love it. I absolutely love it, and it's in really nice condition. The board had faults, and I picked up a J-Rock for it. Another thanks goes to Alex Blue Tonic. He picked up the J-Rock for me in America, got it delivered to his, and then sent it over to me, so saved me a ton of customs. Amazing, absolutely love it. And another friend on the forum, Phil Murray, he's actually fixed the boards for me. I've still got to go down and collect them to put them back in the cab, but it's awesome, absolutely love it. Little bit of burn on the monitor, nothing too horrendous. It's Sinistar burn, so you don't really see it, but it's in nice condition. It's in really nice condition, how considering the majority of it is original. That was my little note from Alex. But the control panel overlay is in really nice condition. There's a couple of marks on it. I love the patina. The buttons aren't original. They would have been lit originally, but they would have been concaved. They don't really offend me too much. I will source some original ones because there's no way they should be that bright, but as I say, it doesn't offend me. But it's got the original Midway 49 way stick, all fully working. No, absolutely love it. Moving on, that one still takes pride of place. Still going strong. Then another new cab, Track and Field. Another game I bought, broken. It had a necked monitor, but because I had a spare monitor, I knew that was going to just go straight in there. Wired that in, fired it up, and the board had a fault as well, and Gav came to my rescue on that one as well. It had like a slight graphics glitch on the athletes. He fixed it within 20 minutes. I think he doesn't muck around. But this game came to me, it didn't have any side art. you can't see it. I will put some pictures in, but I put all new side art on it, and the control panel overlay wasn't in the best condition either, so I've replaced all that as well. Again, I believe original buttons, although I believe these buttons would have been the run buttons. I'm sure these are like the buttons to stop people from cheating, but somebody's obviously changed them over. But really nice, the buttons are really responsive, leaf switches. I need to renew the battery because that will, the high scores reset every time I switch it off. So yeah, I bought this cab along with an Asteroids cab off a guy in Scotland. Really nice guy to deal with, but the Asteroids didn't make it. I thought I could shoehorn it in somewhere. Obviously I've made big changes as it is in the game room, and I still couldn't shoehorn it anywhere. So I had to let the Asteroids go, which I'm a bit gutted about because it was a nice cab and it was a Vector. I don't have other Vectors in here apart from the Vectrexes. So, but I couldn't fit it anywhere, and it's not a rare game, so when I finally move in a few years, hopefully I can grab another one and put that in the lineup. But then again, moving on, I've ended up with a Return to the Jedi game as well. It's really nice condition. I've barely done anything to this. I sprayed up the speaker grills because there was quite a bit of corrosion on this, but other than that, again, another board fault. Bought it 40, had a board fault, and Gav literally has been my hero these last couple of weeks. Again, fixed it in no time. Smarty Martin as well, the guy that does the Smarty Pies, he helped me quite a lot because he lent me a jammer adapter so I could diagnose it, well, because Gav could diagnose it pretty quick. So yeah, it's a lovely looking cab. Again, another game that I've got a lot of nostalgia for. Again, I understand why it's not everyone's favourite. I mean, I like the game, but the thing that annoys me is, again, like with quite a lot of Atari games of this era, you can choose the difficulty. So if you put it on hard and literally just survive the first level, you end up with a really high score than if you started it on easy or medium and played to that level. Like even if you got that far, you wouldn't score that high. But the thing I like about what they did on Paperboy, which obviously came out after this, you had 3 leaderboards, so for sort of hard, medium and easy. So that would have been better to put that on this game, because it just annoys me with this era of games where you can literally last 2 seconds on hard and get a higher score than if you last half an hour on easy. So moving on to the consoles, the console area. It's all up this end now, and to be honest, I love it. I've got so much more room up this end because it's in front of the door. I'm not swinging my chair and hitting cabs. I've got so much floor space up this end, and I haven't really lost too much. I know a PS3 isn't set up anymore, an Xbox One isn't set up anymore, a Wii U isn't set up in here anymore, but I've got one of those in the lounge. My Xbox System X is set up in the dining room with the TV that came out of here, the bigger TV, but I've still got all my retro consoles set up and a few modern ones. I've still got to put the Switch somewhere, because I will set the Switch up in here on this smaller monitor with the PS2s on there at the moment. That's what Batsugun is running on. Pretty good, to be fair. I quite like the port. I quite like what they've done with it. I know that I believe it got sort of slated for the lag. I can't notice anything. I've been using arcade stick on there. It's all pretty good. Then we've got the Dodonpachi Daifukatsu Black Label on the JTAG 360. This is balls hard, this game. I think it's the hardest cave game I've ever played. I mean, I'm not like an expert player or anything, but I'm not bad, and it kicks your ass from literally first level. And then we've got the Amiga 1200, the new Amiga 1200, or the new case anyway. I backed this probably about 4.5 years ago. So that's the carbon case and the black keycaps. and it looks absolutely amazing. I got Steve at Retro Passion to put it all together for me. He recapped the board for me, and it just looks amazing. I absolutely love it. Recapped it, fully loaded it with a card that I had in my loft for God knows how long. So that gives me 8 meg RAM, fast RAM, bit of acceleration as well, and it's yeah, no, it's lovely. It's absolutely lovely. So moving on to the consoles, I haven't lost any of the retro consoles. I've still got Mega Drive, Mega CD set up, Saturn and Dreamcast, and then the NES, Super Famicom, N64, PC Engine and Wii. Obviously everything runs through RGB, so I've got a few mods on the N64 and NES. I've still got the GameCube up here. Love that thing with the Game Boy player. Got PS1 and my Atari 2600. Still use that. Still like a bit of Kaboom every now and again. And this is a new pickup, the Replicade Food Fight. It's alright. I mean, the cab is stunning. I love the original cab, but I can never see me getting one because not only are they pretty rare, but they're ridiculously expensive, and I don't love the game that much. It's okay, but I don't love it that much. But it's got a little analog stick in there, and then we've got a the Egret 2 Mini as well, along with the spinner controller trackball, which I wasn't overly impressed with, if I'm honest. I like the little unit. I won't get it out of the box. Probably seen a million reviews on them. The unit's pretty cool, but I felt the trackball and the spinner actually felt quite cheap. So there you go. It's yeah, it's brilliant down here. I haven't lost much at all. Obviously big screen TV, a few other modern consoles, but really happy with the way it's looking. So then going down the candy wall, obviously this is like my Sega wall now, with the Astro that I bought back. Those will remember I did a deal with James to trade this for the Paperboy, and he ended up getting an Egret 2 that he wanted and let this go back to me, along with this Truxton original board. And he also had a Mysticade for vertical orientation. So yeah, I've had that off of him, but as I say, I'm not running the Mysticade at the moment. I've just got the original Tatsujin board, which I've wanted for a long time, so glad to get that. And then we've got the rest of the Egret 2s down here. Playing a bit of Arkanoid recently. That's just in MAME. Obviously love a bit of Bishi Bashi, which I actually made a new panel. Obviously once I'd sold, or once I'd traded the Astro, obviously the Sega panel for Bishi Bashi doesn't fit in an Egret, so I had to make another panel, which I did years ago and ended up selling it, so I had to make another one. Muddy Music done me another overlay. It came out alright. I mean, I might put it back in the Astro at some point, but it does the job. And then on the last Egret down here, I've actually got a Mysticade running in here. So I've actually got 2 Mysticades. This is the one I bought myself, and it's running the C64 core. And this is my sort of go around by not having the C64 up the other end. It looks amazing on this monitor. Obviously the original C64 would never have outputted RGB, but this is a really nice picture. The video will never do it, like the camera will never do it justice. So that's my little workaround. But anyway, let's get the tripod out. I'll show you some pickups. But I'm really happy with the way the game room ended up. And I say everything's working, touch wood. Right, let's get on with some pickups. I haven't really known where to start, if I'm honest. I mean, obviously I've been off the tubes for about a year now, but I've got a new job, so I'm hoping to at least get a video out a month. That's what I'm going to try, just a few updates. But I mean, if I'm completely honest, as much as obviously the game room's changed, what I would usually do before doing a video is go through my eBay buy-in. That's obviously where a lot of my stuff comes from. And to be honest, like gaming wise, I haven't picked up a ridiculous amount. But what I have been picking up is Villa shirts, a bit like this. And I mean, I might look like a bit of a twat, but I love this. Like, this is my favourite era of football. This would have been sort of 93 to 95. And I was a goalkeeper back then. And Bosnich, one of my favourite players of all time. I mean, that's one of the reasons I'm a Villa fan, because of Mark Bosnich. And this, they just don't make them like they used to. And I've been going through the whole sort of back catalogue of Villa kits, and that's what I noticed, like loads on my eBay sort of buying in the last year. I must have bought at least 50 tops. So if you're not interested in football or anything like that, by all means scroll on for about 5 minutes, because I was just going to show you a few, because these they're going up in price. I mean, I don't know how long sort of shirt collecting's been a thing. I mean, it's probably been a thing for forever, but it's something new I've gotten into. But it's obviously the Villa away kit of that era. Some people love it, some people hate it. I absolutely love it. It's, as I say, it's my favourite era of football. I mean, I see this shirt and I just think sort of Dino Saunders, Dalian Atkinson, really good time for Villa at that time. And this was actually the top that started off, and this is relatively new. This is the shirt the year we went back up into the Premiership. So what, 4 years ago? Made by a local sports company called Luke, or local to Birmingham anyway. They only made our kit for 1 year, and it's got Super Jack Grealish on the back. But I ended up, this was the first sort of shirt I'd bought in a while, and obviously it wasn't brand new, but it was really sort of minty condition. And they're not cheap. I mean, I'm sure this set me back about 75 quid about a year ago. And now you'll be lucky to get it sort of under sort of 110s, 120s. But honestly, the prices have gone a bit nuts with football shirts. Like, even in the year I've been collecting them, because I'm collecting them. Like, I'm not even gonna lie about it. But again, another such a nostalgic top, this one. I mean, I remember buying this from up London, and again, it just screams that sort of Dion Dublin. I've got Benito Carboni on the back, although he scored some great goals, but he weren't a great player for us. You know, he's more renowned for being a better player at Sheffield Wednesday. But I love that top, absolutely love that top. It's just awesome. I've been putting them in these creepy plastic bags just to sort of keep the dust off them and stop the sponsors sticking together on some of the vinyl ones. But this one is what, I think 2001, and it's actually signed by Peter Schmeichel. Not too expensive, to be fair. I mean, it didn't come with any proof that is actually Schmeichel's signature. I mean, it might have been some random, but I think this was I mean, the top alone would have set you back around 150s, and I think again about a year ago this only cost me about 120, so it's a decent price just for the top, even if somebody has scribbled all over it. But again, a great era of football, sort of early 2000s and the 90s for Villa. This one again just screams out Paul Merson for me. Luke Nillis, when we signed him, great player. Chelsea got injured, scored a great goal at Chelsea. I know he got really badly injured. I can't remember what game that was in. But I'm half tempted to possibly get Merson on the back of that one. And then this, probably my favourite, because again, I had this jersey as a kid. Really rare. They didn't make many of these in adult sizes. But I've actually got a picture of me and my mum with me wearing this when we was away at one point. I'll put that on. It's quite a good picture, really, because there's a little Amiga stashed away in it. But yeah, I'm not gonna go on showing them in my vids, but I just thought I'll put them out there, because what I'm thinking every time I do a vid, I'll wear a Villa top. Like, that could be my thing. But yeah, that's enough football. I know a lot of the gamers, they're not huge football fans. But moving on to some pickups, I'll go with sort of some arcadey stuff first. So this must have been absolutely nuts to buy this. Some of you might have noticed it on sort of when I was going around the room. But I absolutely love this. I don't know if I'm getting all that in on picture, on camera, but it's the artwork from Batsugun, and I mean, I absolutely love that game anyway, but I love the art. I absolutely love the art. I'll put a link of where I got it from. I think it's out of stock at the moment, and it wasn't cheap. I'm sure it was about 270 quid, something like that. It wasn't cheap, but I love it. I mean, I keep stepping over it. Obviously, it's a rug, and I keep stepping over it because I don't want to stand on it. Worst use of a rug ever, but I just love it. I mean, I don't have much room for artwork here. Obviously, the games are artwork in themselves, the spines, but obviously I haven't got much wall space for any other art. So if I can utilise the floor, I thought it was a good idea. And I also picked up an arcade board in the last couple of weeks. Again, another mention for Gav. This is Slapfight. I never liked showing PCBs, if I'm honest, because there's nothing like. I mean, I'm impressed by them. Do you know what I mean? But they're not much to look at. Do you know what I mean? There's not much art to them. But it is an original board, pre-jammer. So I've actually ordered a adapter, Slapfight to jammer adapter from Canada. Apparently it's coming today. So yeah, hopefully I can. I'm going to chuck that in the cabinet. I mean, Gav lent me an adapter, so I can play it now if I want to. But no, cheers for that, Gav. Again, not cheap, not a cheap game. I mean, anything sort of tower plan, it's you're going to be paying. I'm sure that was about just over 300 quid. I think 320 quid, 325, something like that. Well, let's get that out of the way, out of that creepy anti-static bag. So what am I going to show, gaming wise now? That's done with the arcadey bits. I'm going to go on to Japanese Mega Drive, and I've got some Amiga as well. It's not a Sinisteve video about some Amiga, but I must admit the Amiga collecting has really slowed down with, I think there's only about 10 games on my list, and budgets. I'm still doing budgets. Like I'm going for like all the Kicks games. So there's quite a few in there, but I'm very tight of them. I'm not paying any more than £10 a Kicks game unless I'm seeing it go for a lot more. Like I know the Turricans can go for a little bit more, but I've got those anyway. But yeah, I'm really tight. I mean, with the budgets, it's the postage that kills it. Obviously, if you buy each one singularly, and bearing in mind there's about 150 of them. I think I'm about 80 into it. So I'm over halfway, 80 or 90 into it. But with the postage killing it, I like to get them in bulk and stuff like that, and just curate my list. But anyway, I'll start with Japanese Mega Drive. Now, I still haven't played a lot of these games. I mean, I bought these 2 years ago, London Gaming Market. Most of them came from Paul Villa, because I've helped him out a couple of times. But there is price stickers on there, so I know in the region of what I paid. I don't know too much about the games, if I'm honest. I've played some of them. So first one's Curse. I remember playing this and not being impressed. I think the frame rate's pretty poor. I think this one came from Scottish Allen. Really nice condition. It says 45 on there, but I believe the top two came from Scottish Allen, and he done me a good deal on them, I believe. So yeah, it says 45, but it was probably closer to 40. And then we've got Masters of Weapon, a game which I know I've played, but can't remember anything about it. As I say, it was 2 years ago when I bought these. Let's open these up. I'm sure everything's complete, because I don't really want them if they're not. But let's have a little look, go through it together. There you go. I've probably never opened this, because there's no way I would have opened that, seen the manual, and then not put it in the right way up. So I might give this one a go later. I mean, being a Taito game, it's going to be good, isn't it? I do love a vertical shooter. So yeah, those are the ones from Scottish Allen, and then I'm sure the rest of these are from Paul Villa. And again, the prices are on here, but if I remember rightly, I think I put all this bundle together, and I mean, I could probably find it on PayPal, so I might put the price on there of what I paid, because I know we've done a deal, like we added them all up, and then I think he knocked about 100 quid off them all, because it was such a big bulk. So we've got Felios, Japanese Mega Drive, Obviously 40 quid on this. I mean, I have no idea if these have gone up, gone down, absolutely no idea, but I know the PAL version, I've seen that recently go for quite a lot. So yeah, 40 quid for Felios. If it's still around that price, then I'd recommend getting it on Japanese Mega Drive. But we've got loads of other bits in here. So yeah, it looks nice, that. And I do like the game. Again, I don't think I've ever played the Japanese version. I don't know if it's any different other than being quicker. Then we've got Aero Blasters. A game that, again, I don't know too much about, but I know the power-up system used to annoy me because sometimes you just collect things that you don't want. But this looks to have the reg card in here. And the manual. I'm completely messing up showing these, but yeah, looks really nice. There's not many Japanese shooters I'm after now, to be honest. I was in two minds whether, because there's a few I'm after that I've already got, obviously on PAL. I mean, like Felios, I've got that on PAL. But I don't know whether to get rid of the PAL or just keep them both. I mean, the PAL games, they're the ones I've got the nostalgia for. But obviously the Japanese versions are the superior copies. So, what is it? This is Bioship Paladin, I believe. Bit of a weird shooter, this. A bloody expensive one as well. Looking at the price on there, 185 quid. But as I say, I will chuck the price in at the end if I can find it. I mean, I should be able to find it, but yeah, a bit of a crinkled manual. Cart's in really nice nick. Yeah, a bit of a weird shooter, that. This is one I saw that Eddie showed the other day on his video, Granada. Again, I agreed with what he said. It's like a multi-directional shoot 'em up. It's not a traditional sort of scrolling shoot 'em up, but highly rated. I must admit, again, one I haven't put much time into. That'll be a familiar story with these. I mean, to be honest, this is one reason why I haven't been doing the vids. I mean, I like to play the games and then I can let you know what I think rather than just picking up a box. And I was so busy in my last job that's why I came off. It was just, I mean, I didn't come off, I just didn't do videos. But as I say, it'd be nice. Obviously now I've got a new job. It's a lot easier than my old one. I'll have a lot more time to do vids, play games and stuff like that. But Insector X. Now, this is a game I do know about, and I really like this game. I don't know why, because again, it's not highly rated, but I just really like the music. It just screams out Mega Drive to me. Like it's something very, even though I didn't play as a kid, it just sounds nostalgic to me. I don't know why, but I do. I love it. Absolutely, I really like this game. Really like it. It's a bit like the sort of a Pidia, but I mean the music's not as good as a Pidia, but it's just something I like about it. Darwin 4081. Again, know absolutely nothing about this game. I know it's always a cheap one, so I can't imagine it's one of the highly rated ones. Yeah, not much I can say about that one. Again, usually it goes on prices, isn't it? If it's cheap, they're usually not as good. That's what I'm going to go with. Then we've got Darius 2. I know I've got like the remake of this, where I believe it's a more complete game. Again, I'm not really sure of the differences, but I know I've got a remake of this. It's got a different spine. I mean, 40 quid for a Darius game. That's, yeah, it can't be bad, can it? But yeah, all complete. Yeah, I don't mind Darius. Don't mind that. And then we've got Thunder Force 2. A game I played quite a bit of Thunder Force 2. It's okay. I believe this was an upgrade. I'm sure I already had this, but the manual was really bad. In fact, I think it had fading as well, the box. So yeah, happy to grab that again, even though I've got it on PAL. Another cheap one. This actually feels manualless, but it's not. There's a manual in there. Whip Rush again. I know another one that's always pretty cheap. So what? Pretty rubbish game. Never played it. I mean, when I say I haven't played it, I'm sure I've booted every shmup up on the Mega Drive. Manual in nice condition. Yeah, and the cart looks all nice. It's mad. I say can't believe 2 years. It's probably over 2 years. There. So yeah, the last Mega Drive game off Paul. Most expensive by far. I'm sure he had about nearly 400 quid on this. And as I say, if I find how much I paid for the whole lot, I'll chuck it in here. So I've got Battlemania. And I have played this one quite a bit. Obviously, when you spend that much on a game, it's you want to get the most out of it. And I do really like it. It sort of reminds me of sort of like an early Death Smiles, where you sort of shoot both ways, sort of go up and down the levels, and sort of horizontal scrolling as well. Really, yeah, it's decent. Really decent game. I was a little bit worried about how minty it was, but yeah, I definitely don't want to say the R word on it, because it's no, the manual's definitely not new, but it's just in really nice nick, really nice condition. But I know when I was trying it, I remember when I tried it for the first time on my Mega Drive, and there was loads of like little glitches on there, and I was like, oh my god, I've bought an absolute dud. Like, what's going on? I didn't go back to Paul I didn't go back to Paul because I thought something can't be right. And I remember I booted it up on the EverDrive, and it was doing exactly the same thing. I was like, what is going on? And it turned out it's because I've got like my full sort of tower power. I've got the 32X in the top, and where the 32X isn't sort of modded, like it's not region 3 and it's a PAL 32X. I'm sure it's that. It was because I thought it was just going to be working as a pass through, and I took that out, put it straight in the Mega Drive, and it worked flawlessly straight away. So I don't know what to do about my 32X. That's why it's not in there at the moment, because I was thinking if that game's glitching, there's bound to be others. So I don't know whether to get it region modded or pick up a Japanese one. I'm not really sure what to do with it yet. But anyway, on to Amiga. Let's roll through these three quite quickly. So these are Firebird games. I love these boxes. I think there's 7 in all. They weren't on my list. It was just something that I've realised I had a few of them. I've got 6 of them now after these 3. So this is Virus. Not aged that well, the game. I do remember it as a kid, but not aged the polygon 3D graphics. So I don't think it's aged very well. Pandora. I haven't even tried this game yet. This one, it's so unlike me. I usually, when I buy Amiga games, 'cause I bought all these singly, I would usually try them, and if they don't work, I'll go back to the eBay seller and try and get a discount. But that's how busy I've been. And then last one's Savage. So I know you've got Flying Shark on this label. I know I've got another 2 games over there with this label, and I think the last one's something like, is it Return to Genesis or something like that? I can't remember. I think that's the last one I need, but I think they look amazing. I really like the spines on those, really cool. All right, let's move on to Gremlin. Butcher Hill, this bloody game. Absolute rubbish game, but you just don't see it much. And I remember Lee Thornley selling this for like 20 quid ages ago, and I was like, I'll give you 15 for it. He was like, no, I'm holding that for 20, it's worth that all day long. And me being me, just tight and a bit of a muppet, just left it, and he ended up selling it. And then the next time I saw it sell, it went for like 75 quid, I think. And then I didn't see it again for another year or 2, and ended up buying that for I think it was about 60 quid. And then again, I saw one a couple of weeks after that sold for a lot cheaper. So yeah, stupid game, but glad to have it. I do like the really early Gremlin dual cases. Moving on to another one, Mickey Mouse, the computer game. I've booted this. I don't remember playing it. I think it is just a kiddies game. I'm sure it is. Sure, it's just a kiddies game. But really rare. You just don't see it. I believe it's. I can't remember what rating it's got on Hall of Light. I know it's. I think it's extremely rare on Hall of Light. And I remember Retro Pixels trying to get something like 600 quid for it at one point. Where was Retro Pixels gone? I miss her. I miss Paulina. Again, I don't think she watches this rubbish, but yeah, I hope you're doing all right. Yeah, it just seems to have disappeared off eBay. No new stuff coming up. I think she's. I'm sure I saw like all of her shelving and everything for sale. So I think she's just sold everything up. But I had an absolute pucker deal with this because I ended up trading it with a guy called Adam on Facebook, big Amiga collector. I ended up with a really bad copy of Arena. It was after I bought my nice one, and yeah, I ended up with a really bad copy of Arena, which didn't owe me too much. And Adam is going for a full Psygnosis set. He was happy with it, and he'd done a straight trade. So yeah, well happy with that. Really happy. And then sticking with Gremlin, got Video Kid. And big thanks goes to Big Mike on this one, Big Mike and Marcus. There's quite a few Amiga bundles going down in Bristol, down his neck of the woods. And the guy didn't want to post them. It was on eBay. And yeah, I contacted Big Mike, can he find somebody to grab them for me? And he asked Marcus. I've met Marcus at a few of the meets, so no, really, really grateful. There was a few games in there. I sold quite a few as well, but I think I've kept 3 of them. I'll show Video Kid today. I know the others were, I think they were like arcade ports, like racing games. So I might keep them for next time. But yeah, Video Kid, happy to get that because you usually see them battered, and all these games were really quite nice. And I say, after I'd sold a few of the bits, even after sorting Big Mike and Marcus out, yeah, they don't owe me anything, so really happy. And weirdly enough, I remember that was I'm sure in the first video I ever saw of Blue Tonic, Alex, he showed that. So yeah, really strange, but a really good segue onto the next game, which is Persian Gulf Inferno. Honestly, I feel like I'm just thanking everyone. It feels like an award speech. Alex again, Blue Tonic, the absolute legend he is. I saw this on American eBay, and also wanted a few other bits. Like I was basically, I'm sure he ordered this, but I was ordering a few other bits in America and just getting them sent to his house, and he just bundled it all up, chucked loads of sweets in the box, and chucked it over to me. And yeah, really happy. Another game off my Amiga list, Persian Gulf Inferno, and it's sealed. Really happy. No, brilliant. Done me right solid on that, Alex. And it was quite cheap as well. I'm sure I've seen them games go for about 150, 160s. Sealed, I'm sure it ended up costing me about 130. He had quite a few of them. Yeah, I'll take it all day long. Another one off the list, Wings of Fury. The last Domark game in this type of plastic box. These absolutely awful boxes that when you open them, usually screws all the artwork up. This box is actually falling apart. I might see if I can it's actually quite yellowed, this box. I might see if I can get some of the cheaper games and swap the boxes out. But not cheap. I've seen this go, I'm sure it was about 200 quid quite a few years ago. This cost me 100 quid, which I was more than happy to pay. Again, another eBay purchase. But I remember going to bid on one of these, and I was waiting till the last second to put, I think, like a really high bidding, so I wanted to win it. And there was a lot of lag obviously on my phone, and it ended up, my bid didn't even go through, and it sold, I think, for about 113. And again, that was well over a year ago, but I'm sure I bought that probably about 6 months ago, about 100 quid on eBay. So happy with that, and happy to have all the boxes, all the plastic boxes. Next up, another one off the list, Last Duel. I do love the Capcom artwork and the purple boxes. I believe I'm only after one more now, and that's 1943. I know Mr. Bads, I know you've got it. I think you've got most of the games that's on my list. Like PP Hammer, I want the full release of that. I've got the fan-made re-release and the budget of PP Hammer, but I don't have the full release. No, that's another game he's got. 1943, I know he's got. Have you got Gravity Force? That's another game I'm after. I've never seen it sell. Honestly, put me and Mr. Bads together, I'd have my full collection I want. Second to last on Amiga, honestly, stick with me, there's not long left. The full release, Pinball Dreams. Love this box. I mean, this is the budget, not the budget release, but it was in a bundle pack. I think it was the A600 Zool pack. But the standalone, you just don't really see it. And again, when you do, it's pretty battered. This is a lovely box. 20 quid, I think it was. I think it was a Facebook purchase. But it just looks so much better with Fantasies on the shelf. I think you'll agree. Right, last game, and then I'm done. I'm done with you. So happy to get this one. Last game in the collection as well. There is a few variants, but I don't think I'm going for any more because I've got a few of the variants, but I know that there's a few sort of foreign compilations and there's certain games in compilations, but I'm not going down that road. I'm done. I'm absolutely done. And it's Psygnosis Flink on the CD32. Needs a bit of sticking. See that quite a lot on these boxes, but it's just literally a bit of double-sided tape. Does it a treat. The box actually didn't know me anything. I got the box probably about 6 months ago. It was in a bundle, just an empty box, and doesn't know me anything. Then I was waiting for the actual game to be somebody to be selling the game, and it finally came up within the last couple of months. I think I won it for about 80 quid, just over 80 quid. Now I know that this slip cover's that's like homemade. Somebody's done that, because I believe, again, Mr. Badge, you can help me on this. Where are you anyway? Come back with some content. I miss your stuff. I believe the disc only came in like a white slip cover, like a generic, no artwork on it. So somebody's obviously lost the box down the years and made a jewel case. It doesn't offend me, but I probably will just grab a slip cover and put the disc in there just for some sort of originality. But no, finally, I'm so happy to get this one out of the way. It's been driving me nuts for quite a long time. So there's somebody in, I think, Germany trying to sell the disc only and the manual, but he weren't budging on. I think it was going to end up costing about 150 quid posted, and I'm thinking, well, the game with the box, and like the boxes are usually more valuable than anything else. I think usually box these around 180, 200s. So finally done with Psygnosis on the Amiga. So yeah, well, as I say, hope you've enjoyed the little tour. It's good to be back. As I say, I'm hoping to sort of do one a month. That's what I'm going to aim for. But until next time, YouTube, I'll see you soon. Bye bye.